Alex Hormozi has used LinkedIn to scale acquisition.com to over $250 million a year, and it's currently generating him thousands of leads every single month without having to spam any outreach or even run any paid ads. And today I'm going to be revealing his full LinkedIn strategy that he's using to scale beyond $250 million a year. Not to mention, LinkedIn is a very big part of his personal brand and his content funnel. So how does he do it? I'm going to be breaking down the 3 key pillars in his strategy step by step so you can copy them for yourself. But first of all, we need to understand why he's even chosen to post on LinkedIn in the first place, especially considering he's not only selling a low ticket book, but he sells workshops that go for over $30,000, right? First of all, we need to understand it's 2025, right? It's not 2020 anymore. Anybody that is intelligent and selling a B2B offer knows that LinkedIn is the platform to be on. This is literally just common sense by now, and there's a few core reasons behind this. So for example, first of all, really good for top of funnel awareness. Like, you can get so much traffic and funnel it down into other platforms, which I'll show you exactly how Alex Hormozi absolutely abuses this to build absurd amounts of trust with his audience. Reason number 2 is that it just builds reputation and trust. When people see that you post on LinkedIn, when they see that you have a bunch of authority figures commenting on your content, following your content, they will automatically trust you more. Number three is that the prospects are generally just high intent and warm. When people look at your content, they get value, they start to trust you more, they are not only more likely to close, but they are also willing to pay higher prices for the same expertise cold leads are willing to pay a lot less for. Fourth is just the simple potential to drive hundreds of inbound leads. LinkedIn is one of those platforms where you can go viral overnight and you can literally have hundreds of people in your DMs and going to your website and going to your profile and going to your funnel, which subsequently leads to quite a lot of revenue. Reason number 5, the final and maybe the most important reason, is sophisticated/high quality user base. This is what sets LinkedIn apart from any other platform. It has CEOs, executives, investors, and it has people all the way from small companies, but also to enterprises. Literally everyone that is important in the corporate world uses LinkedIn. Now let's get into the 3 pillars. Pillar number 1 being the profile architecture. There's 3 key parts of your profile. Number 1, your headshot. Number 2, your headline. Number 3, your banner. These are like the 20% which will get you 80% of the results. Obviously, there's more stuff below it, but these are the 3 most important things. Now, with your headshot, it's pretty simple. We don't want to have any AI. We don't want to have a blurry picture. This might seem blurry, but it's just because I took a screenshot. But also, we don't want to have any company logos. It is your personal brand. We want your face on it. Otherwise, people are going to be thinking, what is this guy hiding? Why is he not showing his face? Number 2 is going to be the headline, right? The headline needs to just convey, who are you? What are you offering? What is your authority, right? Alex Hormozi, to be honest with you, even just his name is authority because he's so well known. So for him, he can literally just put in his company names and websites in the headline and he can get away with it because everybody's already heard of them, right? But in your case, if you're just not as well known, you might want to instead focus more on like the value that you can provide and maybe the benefits that you provide or the pain points that you solve. But also notice that he offers a call to action, right? He says, my new $100 million money models book is out, get yours now. And then he's linking here. You could do this with any sort of free call or cheap offer or even expensive offer that you're running. And what you'll notice is he sneaks in a little bit of social proof here by mentioning that there's been 3.6 million copies sold. If you're selling a software for creators, for example, you could say we have this many thousand creators using it. If you don't want to use numbers about user or customer count, you can simply use results, right? You can say they've generated this much, or we've had someone generate this much. All of this is just stuff to add to your authority and build trust. The third thing is the banner. Now, in the banner, whether you are well known or not, it's nice to just have your logos, right? It's nice to just have your logos in the banner so people become familiar with it. I think that's completely fine. And as you'll notice here, he also has things related to what he's offering. So the books, once again, which is what he's pushing to. In this case, if you were instead pushing to a Calendly, you might want to say, book your free call now. Again, you might want to even add more info here about your mechanism, maybe saying, oh, we help you achieve this result with this mechanism. In my case, we help people add $15,000 to $30,000 in MRR in 90 days using a LinkedIn inbound funnel. So that's what makes sense to have on my headline, as well as maybe a call to action telling people to book a call. So this is everything for the main part of the profile. Like, this is really what matters. There is one more thing, which is the About Us section. The way you really want to just think about that is a little bit of a background on you. But you want to make sure that that's actually linking to what you're doing now. You don't want to have completely irrelevant info. Like, they don't care that you went to whatever primary school you went to. They care about, what did you learn in the past? What have you done in your past that relates and that has led to you being able to help your ICP now, right? So for example, let's keep Alex Hormozi as an example. He scaled Gym Launch to who knows how many millions of dollars. This is previous authority that he can borrow, and he can mention, hey, when I was at Gym Launch, I learned X, Y, and Z skills. We got X, Y, and Z results for clients. That led me to the conclusion of this. And now we help this type of business solve these types of pain points. And then at the end of that, just have a nice little call to action to DM you, a bit softer, nothing crazy, but like, you can't click links in the About section. So it just makes more sense to have a DM call to action. Pillar number 2 is the content engine. So there's 3 main post formats I noticed in his strategy. Post format number 1 is simply just a text post, right? So this is really just where we're doing a long form text post or just a basic text posts, and it's literally just fully text. And what you'll notice is that with these posts, it is only text, but he makes it very easy to read. So there's space between basically every line. Generally, he's using like this 5th grade reading level, and he makes these types of hooks which have some sort of contrast or some sort of interesting information, which leads people to click the see more button. Format number 2 is the short caption plus video. This is where the post mainly is the video, right? So if you have a podcast, you could add clips here like he does. If you have a long form video, you could clip it and add it there, or you could just make short form clips just for the sake of this, right? But he'll have these captions where it's just, is this the best skill you can develop? He likes to use these questions, which basically leads you to be curious about the answer. And that's obviously what leads you to click on the video and then be like, let me get my answer. He's basically giving you this open loop, which humans really don't like. They want to close every loop. He's giving you this open loop in the hook where then you're like, wait, let me come to the conclusion, let me get my answer, which basically makes you watch the video and watch the video to the end. The third and final format is a short text post plus a graphic. So this could be a carousel. This could just be a general graphic, a flow chart. In this case, he's used a little graph explaining how overnight success comes fast, but they don't see basically the time that you spent before, right? It's a very easy to understand graphic and it's very relatable. Here, he's literally just gone for, you always look like an overnight success because they just found out about you. Agree? So he's basically having a bold claim and a strong opinion, and he's just asking you, do you agree with this take? I would say this is really good just for general brand awareness and just going, for the masses. And I don't think it's bad to have some posts like that, but we do want to make sure we are balancing it out with other types of content that is more specific and giving a lot more value. We'll get into exactly how to do that in a second. There's one key principle that Alex Hormozi follows that allows his content engine to even work effectively in the first place. And it is the value first principle. If you've seen his videos, you've seen him talking about this. This essentially means that he can build enough trust so that his audience sees him as an authority. Because when you get a certain amount of value from someone, you start to think, this guy definitely knows what he's talking about, and you start to implement what he's given you. You start to see results with what he's given you. And it's enough trust that people will literally trust a stranger on the internet that they've never met with $30,000, if not more. But how does this actually work? Because it's not that simple. There's actually 5 reasons this works and 5 ways he uses the value first principle to position him as the utmost authority. Number 1, he builds trust before the transaction. He gives before he asks. His whole focus initially is just to provide as much value to you as possible and show you, hey, look, I'm just here for your best interest. Then if you want to buy stuff from me, that's your choice, but I just want to provide value to you. Number 2 is that he positions himself as the source, not the salesman. This is basically what I mentioned before, but he simply is just like, hey, I'm going to give you the information. It's your choice whether you want to make a decision to work with me or not. He's not openly trying to promote his stuff that much. He does do it every now and again, as you've seen with his book, but he is more focused on simply providing the information for them to then come to their own logical conclusion that his product or his service is suited for them and will solve their problems. Number 3 is the goodwill loop. So this is very interesting because every bit of value you give to someone, they start to feel in debt to you. And what this means is that as time goes on, the law of reciprocity comes in and they essentially want to reciprocate. They want to give back for the value you've given them. So as soon as you make a call to action after giving them value for a whole 2 weeks, they're so much more likely to actually be stimulated by that call to action and actually take the action you've told them. It's genuinely wired in their human brain where, hey, somebody does something good for me, I should do something good for them. And in this case, that means paying you, buying your service, buying your product. Number 4 is he turns his content into proof. This is basically where he subtly mentions, hey, I was at this position. I'm the CEO of this company. I've done this much a year, whatever it is, subtly saying, hey, this is my situation, which is a lot of people's dream situation, and then gets into, hey, here's how you can do the same, or here's the problem I was dealing with, and here's how I fixed it, right? Number 5 is that he stays top of mind without being pushy. Now, this is mainly simply that he is so consistent with his content. He's posting like once or twice a day on LinkedIn, and he's always providing high quality content. This means that every day you open the LinkedIn app, he's going to be the first thing you see in your feed if you follow him. And then over time, you're going to keep being reminded of him, which keeps him top of mind. And whenever you do think, hey, wait, I want to buy his book, or whenever he tells you, hey, buy my book, you're going to do it. Now, pillar 3 is distribution, okay? So distribution is very important. What you'll notice is that it's not just Alex posting, but he has his 2 co-founders and partners posting. Now, they have less followers. He has about 800,000. Layla still has about 300,000, which is really good. And Sharan has about 30,000. But the point is that all of this adds up to one massive content engine, which grows the brand, builds authority, and when you have everyone posting, everyone sharing their proof, everyone sharing value, it's a massive positive flywheel. And actually, total volume is about 90 posts per month if we're assuming 1 post per day from each account, and the estimated average impressions per post, I would say, from my experience, is about 70 to 90,000. What does this mean? This means they're probably doing about 80,000 times 90, or let's see, about 7 million impressions every single month, which is pretty absurd. Like, imagine how much money you would make if you had 7 million impressions a month on your offer. Now, the LinkedIn traffic all helps funnel to a very important platform, YouTube. This might be the number 1 trust building platform because someone can only trust you so much from text posts. Obviously, this is assuming you're not posting long form video on LinkedIn, which, to be honest with you, can be a good option. And honestly, if I was in Alex's shoes, I would maybe post some long form content in there because it will directly build a lot more trust than just this short form clips or these text posts. But I guess it's because of the algorithm and he can just get more reach if he posts shorter stuff that appeals to a broader market, right? But it not only builds more trust, but it speeds up the sales cycle and leads to a higher close rate. What you'll notice with this whole personal branding and inbound funnel game is it's just a game of building as much trust as you can. And then when they hop on the call, they're already convinced to buy. They already have their credit card out and they're already willing to spend tens of thousands of dollars on your service. Now, I actually thought I'd mention his 3 other quick changes I would make if I was in charge of his LinkedIn and how I would improve it, right? So number 1 would be lead magnets. For some reason, he's not taking advantage of this. If Alex Hormozi made a lead magnet, I'd have no doubt that this could get millions of views. And it's essentially where he'd give away a resource that he makes or a video that he makes that's like a private video or something like that for free in exchange of people commenting in the algorithm. This would basically allow him to give a lot higher value stuff to much higher intent prospects who are willing to comment, connect with you, like the post just to receive the resource. And it's going to act as a really good conversion mechanism into leads. Number 2 is value-based case studies. If I was in Alex's shoes, I would be posting a bit more social proof, to be honest with you. He does a lot of subtle social proof, which is really good. And he is at a point where his name is just so well known that he maybe doesn't need to do this as much. But like, he could still give value, but also mention case studies and really get into like the transformation and exactly the steps that were implemented, which he does do sometimes, but not as much on LinkedIn. So this would really help increase conversions. And at the end, he could have a call to action saying, DM me if you're interested in similar results. Number 3 would be softer call to actions in the profile. What I noticed is that in his featured section, for some reason, he does not have anything else apart from his most popular LinkedIn posts. Like, if they wanted to see your LinkedIn posts, they can just go below that and they can see all your LinkedIn posts. But if he instead, because I know he has a newsletter, right, the Mosey Money Minute, he could push that. Because the thing is, if they haven't been stimulated by your previous call to actions, which tend to be higher friction, more commitment, like book a call, buy my book, this type of stuff, it means they're just not ready for it yet. And more LinkedIn content probably won't help as much as like, okay, let's get you into a newsletter. Let's get you into YouTube. The LinkedIn content should be the final thing if there's no other option for them to take action. And these changes could easily add millions of dollars a year with his volume of traffic. I'd have no surprise at all, literally just these 3 changes. And to be honest with you guys, that is Alex Hormozi's $250 million LinkedIn strategy. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if there's anyone I should review next. And if you are interested in me setting up the same LinkedIn inbound funnel that Alex Hormozi uses for your business, 100% done for you, click the first link